Today we're looking into what $500,000 can get you here in Spokane, Washington, and make sure to stick around because we're going to go through all the areas in the Spokane area and compare what $500,000 can get you. My name is Haydn Halsted, your Spokane real estate resource, and thanks so much for watching this video. I help people just like you buy, sell, and invest in real estate here in the Spokane area. You can reach me and my team using the links down below. So we're going to look at a handful of different neighborhoods here in the Spokane area. I'm going to show you how you can use my website or any really real estate website to set these specific boundaries if you think this might be your budget, and you can use the same information if you have a different budget in the area. But $500,000 kind of gets you just above that median price point, starting to find homes that have nicer quality builds, things like that, for that average, maybe first time home buyer type of house. So let's jump right into this, and we're going to jump right into my website here. So I put the filter on for Spokane County, not Spokane City or Valley or anything like that, the Spokane County, because that's where my team primarily serves. We do service outside of that realm a little bit. So if you are looking out into Stevens County or even over into Idaho, our teammate is, we do have a teammate licensed in Idaho that can help you out. So please feel free to anywhere within kind of a 90-mile radius of the Spokane area, please reach out to us because we'd love to help you. So looking at this, we're going to set the property search to single family homes, looking at more of that average house here in the Spokane area. Looking at that $500,000 price point, I'm just going to go slightly below and slightly above to $525,000. So we have a small kind of 10% window of that purchase price there. Looking at active homes and back on market, let's see all what is there, but I don't really care what's pending because obviously we're not gonna be able to buy that. And so then that gives us 106 homes available right now. So that's a good amount for the Spokane area. The market that you're coming from, that probably seems like a super small amount. You might be looking at 2,000 homes available in that market if you were in Phoenix or somewhere like that, or areas of, I don't know, the Midwest, areas like that, just where the population's a lot more dense and areas, things like that. So now as we look at this, we can see that there's really options almost everywhere. I mean, for the most part, there are some options in most areas of Spokane, and then you can see areas where there are no options, whether it's because it's too expensive or because this price point is more expensive than that average home in that area. So let's poke around here and figure out what we can see for each location in the Spokane area. And you know what? I'm going to filter this even more because I imagine anybody that wants to spend $500,000, I'd say the average person probably wants at least 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. So I want to get even more realistic on what this price point provides. Cool, that only lost us 3 houses. So if you're shopping at $500,000, I would expect you to be able to find a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home at the minimum, if not a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home in a lot of these areas. So we're gonna look at the South Hill first, obviously an older community in the Spokane area. And so let's poke around and see what that kind of provides you here. So there's a house right here on the lower South Hill. It's 475, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet, built in 1949, which is kind of young for this area. Pretty updated on the inside, but relatively small, not a humongous house. It's in a cool area. It's close to the bluff, close to the Polyjet Park and hiking trails. On the east side of the South Hill, where homes are a little bit newer in that Lincoln Heights area, you could get a little bit more of a split level home, just over 500,000, 4-bed, 3-bath, almost 2,000 square feet, built likely in the 90s or early 2000s. Yep, 2002. And so this is more of an option that you would see on the Lincoln Heights neighborhood area. And then if you're looking south, you're probably going to find more of a longer split level or longer rancher type house. So 2-car garage even. Pretty big house, almost 2,500, 5-bed, 3-bath. And so this house is definitely going to need a little bit of love. It's going to be a little bit more dated, but if you're more looking for square footage for this price point, this would be something. There's a cool covered deck here, larger lot size as well. And then this is even going to be this was built in the 70s is my guess, 1970, what is it, 1978 right there. And so, yeah, you got to be in that Moran Prairie neighborhood, Mullen Road Elementary, things like that. You'll see a lot of $500,000 options here along in the Latah Valley. There's a handful of like new construction projects going on in that area right now. And then, so even like Lennar's building right here, so you could buy a brand new home for $500,000. But there's a handful of really great options in this area as well in that 500 range. Now, where this price point really shines is kind of in the South Valley area. There's going to be a lot more inventory for this price point, and anywhere, and I mean, likely, like we're seeing probably 4 to 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in this area. More of these split level homes like we were seeing on the east side of the South Hill. So, I mean, California's like a larger California split, 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,300 square feet, built in 73 on over a quarter acre, totally updated. And large lot size, right against the trees, things like that. So you're easily going to find a lot of square footage in this area, and we're not finding anything below 2,000 square feet. I mean, this one's at 509, 2,700 square feet, 4 beds and 4 bathrooms. And now you have a 3-car garage. This was one of those like tri-level homes. So you're going to walk in, it's going to have an upstairs and likely a basement. And so it needs a little bit of updating. Probably hasn't been updated since it was built, but it's a really big lot size, over a quarter acre as well, built in the 90s. So nothing is too old. I think what you'll run into sometimes is that these houses a lot of things are coming to the end of their life. If it was built in the 90s, it's 35 years old, or 30 years old, somewhere in there. And so that 30-year roof is coming due, that 30-year furnace is coming due. So you just got to keep an eye out and see what's already been replaced or what hasn't. Just be careful that you're not purchasing one of the homes where nothing has been replaced, and you're getting caught footing that bill on almost everything. So now if you are looking for something newer and this price point, it's totally possible. I put in 2024 as the year built. So most of these are going to be homes that are to be built, but some there might be a resale or ones that have been on the market for quite a while. But you can see there's 35 options in that price range. 3 bedrooms probably is going to be the more common of those. But the great thing about this price point is that, and new construction, is that a lot of times, depending on the builder, if it's a bigger builder, we're going to be able to get some sort of interest rate reduction. And so you're actually going to be able to get a little bit more house for the money. You're going to find that you can get a 4 to 5% interest rate rather than a 7% interest rate, and be living in a nice house. I mean, if it would be low maintenance, it wouldn't take a lot of effort. You could upgrade it however you felt necessary, but you can see all across the Spokane area, there will be options for this, whether you want to live on the north side, kind of right in the middle in the valley, or out in Airway Heights, or we have that kind of Lennar community down in Eagle Ridge as well. Haydn Homes is the one that's up here, and they're building a community right across from the park up on 5 Mile. Great one-level options, 3-bed, 2-bath. You're going to get a smaller square footage. So that's the kind of the thing to think about is, do I want more square feet? Then I'm going to have to buy resale. If I just want new, then it's going to probably be 1,000 square feet less, from 2,500 to 1,500 for a new construction home. So now looking up at Northwest Spokane, you can see that this section of the West Central up into Audubon neighborhood, 500,000 isn't really a price point. Like I was talking to a seller that has a home kind of right in here. I can't remember. But they would love to get more for their house, because they bought it for like $465 last year. But we just don't have any proof of concept of any homes selling for $500,000. Obviously, we can try, but if it's on the south side of Francis, then really it's not going to happen right now in this market. If we can be in the high 400s just on the other side of Francis in the Balboa neighborhood, and then heading into Indian Trail, we start to see a lot more options there. We have some resale new constructions happening in this old DR Horton community. It's only a couple years old. And then so there's a lot of different resale properties that will come up here in this west side of the Indian Trail neighborhood. You're not going to see this price point much on the northeast side of Spokane. This is this would be a high price point for that area. So it would be a unique property where maybe it's a 6-bed, 4-bath. This is probably a duplex, most likely multifamily properties that are selling in this price point up here. But that's really not something you're going to find there. And then you can be up north of Pasadena Park and up into Millwood with some of the older homes. Or Millwood, I meant Northwood actually. Northwood is the name of this neighborhood. Kind of tucked up in the hills a little bit, really nice private area. And it's kind of another, feels like an Eagle Ridge type of feel if you're familiar with Eagle Ridge. But you're going to be able to find a less updated home in that area, built in 2004, probably not updated since then. It's going to be on the lower end, but there's a lot of room to build equity and make improvements to those properties because there's a lot of really high-end homes in that neighborhood as well. So I'm sure many of you understand how to use these tools on Zillow or Homes.com or Realtor, anything like that. You can use my website if you prefer it. Whatever you think, I just think the best thing to do is, as you're looking at what type of price range you're going to be in is to evaluate your monthly payment, because that's really what we're looking at when we're trying to qualify you. It's less about the price of the home and more about the monthly payment and how that works out with your debt to income ratio. So your debt to income ratio is the amount of income you bring in and then the amount of debt payments that have to go out. Your debt payments are including your car payment, your student loans, medical, and there are caveats to that, because the government's making it so that lenders don't have to necessarily count medical debt against you. So definitely talk to a lender about those little details. But we can look, and you can do this on my website, at a mortgage calculator and figure out how much the payment is going to be for a house at a certain price point, and then kind of determine from there if you think you get qualified, if you feel like it's going to be too early to talk to a lender. So let's say you're looking at a $500,000 house. You have, let's put down $50,000 as a down payment, 30-year fixed loan. Rates right now, I'd guesstimate closer to 6.9 with a little bit of a buy down on that. This is a good start to guess a little conservative estimate for property taxes, 1% for our Spokane area. Probably be a little bit less than that, but I would say stay conservative. Your homeowner's insurance, it's getting expensive, especially in Washington State. We're being affected by the regulations in California because we're experiencing droughts and we have a lot of trees. And so it's not as extreme as that area, but it's definitely home property insurance is getting more expensive. So I would give yourself a buffer of about $1,200. It could be cheaper. It could be more expensive. It just depends on where exactly the property is that you end up finding. And then from there, you would have, probably mortgage insurance at this lower down payment. So it'd probably be another $150 a month you would just want to factor in, but we don't have that added on to this calculator. But looking at this, your payment's going to be right around $3,500 a month for a $500,000 home with 10% down. So now you can reverse engineer this a little bit. It's a little bit of basic math, but if you pull up a calculator and you take that monthly payment plus any other debts you have. So let's say, let's add in $500 a month, whatever it's your car payment or something like that. That's how much money your total debt payments would be. You can divide that by 0.43, and this is roughly the amount of income per month that you should need to afford that home. So that would be backwards, but you'd have to make about $111,000 a year, $112,000 a year for that price point. Now, there's going to be a lender that watches this video and totally roasts me on something like that. Some lenders can loan you more than that debt to income ratio. I'm just giving you an average. Okay, so just go talk to a lender. I'm also, as your advisor, real estate advisor, would never tell you necessarily to take out that much money. It might not be the responsible thing to do to take out more than 50% of your income towards debt. So it's just based on your personal situation, but mess with a mortgage calculator. You can learn a lot there. The most interesting thing is that 30-year loan will cost you $1.2 million if you keep that 7% interest rate over the long period of time. And so across Spokane County area, things that can make your payments variable would be that homeowner's insurance. Like if you're near a lot of trees that are potential fire risk, insurance is probably going to be higher. Obviously, keeping an eye out for flood zones, not a major concern around here. If you're looking at getting an HOA, that's going to increase your monthly payment as well. Like I said, if you look at new constructions, you could be buying a $500,000 house and have a much lower rate. And so that could get you below $3,000 a month on your monthly payment. So a lot of variables here that would go into factoring your payment. But I would say anywhere from $2,800 to $3,700, just depending on how much money you put down. Because if I change the number here to $100,000 that you put down 20%, calculate that, it drops you to $3,150 per month for a monthly payment. So my biggest tip to anybody is to drive through the neighborhoods. If you're not buying like an $800,000 house or even $600,000-$700,000 house, once you start getting, well, if you drop below 500, there's just some more variables to the neighborhoods, and you really should get a feel for where you're going to live. So I definitely recommend, especially if you're coming to Spokane, give yourself 2-3 days. Ask me to create a custom map for you on where to drive through the area and get a real good feel of the locations that you're going to be interested in. Really consider where you're going to be driving to on a regular basis. Traffic in Spokane is not that bad compared to most places, but I wouldn't be choosing to live in Airway Heights if I had to drive out to Liberty Lake every single day, because I definitely don't want to be driving on I-90 every single day during rush hour. That would be a huge pain in the butt. But also, if you live on the north side and you always are driving to the South Hill, that's going to be a a huge pain as well. So to summarize, I think the $500,000 price point offers you a lot of flexibility, a lot of different types of homes, whether it's an older home or newer home that you're looking for, whatever side of the city you want to live on, whether it's north, south, valley, anything like that. It's really kind of up to you at that point, what you want, where you want to be, what kind of lifestyle you want to live. If you're curious about what 500,000 or any other price point could look like for you, I'd be happy to jump on a call with you, sit through this, and help you find out which area might be right for you. You can use the links down below in the description to reach out to me and my team. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more real estate tips here in Spokane. And let me know in the comments down below what videos I can be making for you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.